So, hey guys, Simon here, and I am learning to make games. And wait, what's that? A warning, scripts, warning. Oh, okay, that's yeah. So since the last video, a lot of people have left comments. It seems like there's all sorts of people watching my videos. Most people, I guess, are in a similar position, or most of the comments are in a similar position as me. People who are learning, who are interested in learning how to make games, who are just starting out, and also a few people who are significantly more experienced than me as well. So I think I'll just focus or target these videos at people who are similar to myself, who are learning, and maybe we learn together, maybe we learn from each other as well. And obviously, if you know more than I do and you have suggestions or helpful advice, I'm happy to hear them. I don't want to bang my head against a brick wall forever. So, since we are going to try to learn this stuff together, I thought I'd just start with a completely new project, Learning 002. So the last one was 001, of course. And I'll just do a similar thing to what I did last time. If you remember, I'm thinking about having a 2D side-scrolling sort of a thing going on. So let's just set up the same sort of thing I did last time. I'll show you what I did eventually when I figured it out. So let's just make a plane, and we want to rotate the plane upwards. I think we want to rotate X by 270 yeah, that's right. So that makes it face the camera. The camera is, see the preview here, you can see the plane there. Well, let's see, I want the position to be 0, 0 and 0. Now that I think about it, maybe so the Z-axis is, wait, no, the green arrow is that way. Why is both the Y and Z axis moving like that? I thought only one should move. Let's see. Yeah, that's interesting. It's moving a very, very small amount. That's interesting. It doesn't actually constrain it. Anyway, let's put Z to 10. Give ourselves a bit more room. Is that zoom? Am I zooming out? Okay, let's zoom out. I'm holding Alt, by the way. Alt and right mouse button zooms out. Alt left button rotates. I don't want to rotate. Middle button pans. Okay, that's how we go. And we want a light. Game object, create other, directional light. Let's put that at 0, 0, 0, rotation 0, 0. Amazing. Let's put that where the camera is. The camera is actually at -10, or -1. Interesting. On the y-axis. Let's put the light also at -1, just so that it's in the same position as the camera, pointing. Did I actually move that? Oh, sorry, Z is -10. My bad. So that should be 0. That's -10. Let's move the camera also. Like, I just like to have everything on axis. It makes things a lot easier to figure out where things are later on. So I move the light to exactly where the camera is. And we're gonna make the camera orthographic projection, and scale is 1. I guess the plane, I don't know what these units are, but it seems like 10 is actually really far away. Size, oh that's right, the size is 100. Let's just make the size 10 and see what happens. Hold on, what's going on here? Why am I loading things in the background? I don't know if this is still recording. Hopefully it is. I might have to stop and start it. Okay, so 10 gives us something that big. That's interesting. Because what's going on here is that the plane itself, it's at scale 1, but I figured out that it's actually 10 units. I think it's 10 units square, the plane. Anyway, let's make the plane a lot bigger. Just for now. So the camera, you see, it's just a white plane, and I want create. No, we don't create there in our project. Actually, let me pause the recording. Okay, well that was interesting. Chrome crashed. Anyway, let's get back to this. What are we doing here? We don't want those things. I didn't want to do that. Oops. Okay, never mind. Oh, scripts. Let's bring that back. So, Unity gives you some standard scripts that you can use. But I'm not using any of those. I want to try and create things from scratch, of course. What were we saying before? We had the main camera, so it's white. What I want to do is create material, and let's just have a basic one for now. Diffuse. How do I change this? Oh, new material. Let's change the name. Is this thing lagging again? Am I crashing something again? I think I might be crashing something again. Okay, rename. Diffuse sky blue. And I want it to be, as you can guess, sky blue. What's a good sky color? Aren't skies usually darker than that? I guess it depends on where you are and what time of day it is. That's a nice blue. Cool. So we apply diffuse sky blue to the plane. I guess we should rename these as well. Background. So now the camera blue. Nice. Now for the serious business, which is particle systems. That's what we said we were going to do, wasn't it? So let's go save the scene, and let's go create other particle system. Now I have no idea how these things actually work. Rotation 0. Rotation, the y-axis 270. There we go. So it points that way, and then gonna have 0, 0. Z-axis, let's make it 1. And in fact, we want the x-axis to be -5. Okay, never mind. Positive 10. Let's see what it looks like in the game. No, let's put it all the way off screen. Let's put it positive 25. Well, I mean, that's not actually going to be the screen in the end because it's in a free aspect. Let's put it on 6 by 10. And then we can put that at 10, 20. Right. So now we have particles entering the screen from the right. Now, we want it, well, I want it. I'm kind of not explaining what I want to do here. I'll just do it and then you see what I mean. Am I still recording? Okay, yes I am. I'll just do it and then you see what the idea is. Box? Good. Box, X, Y, and Z. Which axes are we working on here? X and Z, Y and Z I think. So make that 10 and make that 10. Oh, okay, not Z. X. Or actually no, we only need Y, don't we? So now, that looks like there, let's make that 20. Actually, we don't want that, do we? We actually do want it. No, let's make it 5. Alright. and in fact I might put it further up. If we go back to the position, x, y, let's give that, no, let's put that 5. Let's put that up there just for the fun of it. Looping, pre-warm, start delay 0, start lifetime, start speed, start lifetime 10, so that they go all the way across the... So, I mean, I've worked with particle systems in 3D Studio Max before, so I'm kind of aware of these terms. I mean, if you're learning and you don't know what these things mean, you can always just change the numbers and see what happens, right? So speed is 5. 1 is... okay, let's put that at 5. Start size, max particles 1000. How do I... oh, emissions, okay, I see. Duration 5. Wait, why is that duration? Never mind. Gravity modifier 0, inherent velocity. What if I increase this? I have no idea what that does. Start size 2, okay. Emissions rate 10. I think I should reduce the rate. I think I should reduce the rate even more. Okay, good. 1. What else do I want? I actually want this to be a little bit darker, now that I think about it. Right, back to the particle system. I'm going to rename it particle foreground, and velocity over lifetime specify it's of each particle during its lifetime. Limit velocity over lifetime. Constant. Curve. These might be useful later, but not now. I'll deal with that later. Okay, so now can we duplicate these? Duplicate. So we call the second one midground, and then we call the last one background. Right? So midground. Wait, what? Oh, they stop simulating when you stop clicking on them. Okay. So there's the foreground, midground. Let's make start size smaller. Okay, apparently that's a lot smaller. Let's make that 1.5, 1, maybe 1. Who knows? Start size 1, speed 3. I think the lifetime needs to be longer then. There we go, they still go off screen. And then so it's 1, 3, and so now this will be 0.5, 1, and this just has to be a lot longer than that. Okay. Can we see all 3 of them at the same time? No, it doesn't simulate all 3 at the same time. Okay, let's save scene and build and run, see what that looks like. Learning 0.2, test number 1, go! Actually, one more thing I need to do. I need to put the obviously the foreground particles in front of the background particles. We're on 1280 by 720, I believe, is the size of the screen capture. Let's move that there. Well, obviously we have to wait until the particles make their way across the screen, but you see the parallax there going on. Bigger things in the front, smaller things at the back. So now we have the illusion of us moving to the right, watching these things. You know, you can kind of see there's some sort of perspective thing going on here. Interesting effect. So that's the effect I was going for the whole time. Cool, nice. I think I wanna... Oh, I need to reduce the height of the ones at the back, don't I? So the ones at the front can be spread out and the ones at the back need to be... So you can see the problems with this. Hopefully we can get it to pre-calculate some of this emission so that, you know, we don't have to wait for them to travel across the screen, and yeah, the emissions need to be narrower at the back. Well, not at the back, but in the background particles. Obviously right now they're actually in the same space, so there's a few things I need to do here. Let's close that. Scene. Can put that on perspective now, except we can't see anything. Press F to frame. Oh, press F to frame. I can't see where any of this stuff is. So top view. The background is right there. Particle foreground position 1. Particle midground position 2 or 3. No, not 23. 3. Particle background 5. So that they're actually, you know, in front of each other. Scale. No, not scale. Emission. No, not emission. Shape. Eventually I'll find it. So it's 5. Midground shape 3. Background shape 1. And also I want to move them down from each other as well. So what do we have here? Foreground 5. Midground 3. Background 2. I'm just guessing. I'm really just guessing here. No, background 1. In fact, foreground, midground 2, background -1 or 0. So if we just make a few adjustments. Oh, start delay. Can I get the start delay to be a negative number? Start delay -20. No, I can't get the start delay to be a negative number. That's a shame. That's a shame. Well, we can just... Okay, we can deal with that for now. Okay, there are ways around this. Save scene. And build and run. What color is the sky? That blue is still too bright, I feel like. What color is the sky? Good question, right? Actually, I think all three particles should be slightly higher up. Look at that parallax. Look at that parallax going on there. Look at that. Doesn't it feel like you're moving? Doesn't it feel like you're moving and then these things are in the sky above you? So we're kind of creating... We're using a 3D game engine, but we're using it to pretend to be a 2D animation system. And then we're using tricks that you use in 2D animation to simulate 3D environments. Look at that. Look at that parallax. I think the background is moving a little too slowly. What do you think? Yeah, it is moving a little too slowly. Like either the particles in the very background are too big or it's moving too slowly. Let's speed up the particles in the background a little bit. Start speed. So 5, 3, start speed. Let's try 1. 1 is that speed. 2. Can we? Okay, mid ground. No, maybe 1.5. 1.5. Let's try that. I'm just gonna guess that. I'm gonna leave that for now. I'm gonna move these a little bit as well. Foreground. Position x20. y5. I want this to be higher up. 6, 7, 7. 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4. And background 0, 1, 2, 1. 1.5. Okay, so it's higher up. I mean, did I say clouds yet? Have I said the word clouds? I don't think I have, but if you haven't figured out by now, I'm making clouds. Now, what color is the sky? We go to Google Chrome, and we go not Skyrim, Nexus. That's where you get mods for Skyrim, by the way, if you play on the PC. Sky images. So the sky is that color. See, if I'm going to have white clouds, it's better to have a darker sky to contrast it against, isn't it? I mean, obviously, there's all sorts of different colors in the sky here. Let's choose a much darker blue. It's a bit surreal, but I think it will serve us better here. So, diffuse sky blue. Let's just make that a crazy... No, that's too dark. That's good. That's nice. Okay, so save. Now the last thing I want to do for today, I don't know how long I've been going for, but the last thing I want to do today is... Wait, maximize on play. Can I play it here? Wait, let me just check this. Window, can I just... I haven't tested any of this stuff yet, to be honest. Alright, so now I want to attach a texture to a particle system. I don't actually know if you can do this, so I'm going to go to Chrome, Unity, support, and documentation. So I mean, if you don't know something, this is how you look things up, right? You go to Google or whatever it is, you look for documentation, and then you try to figure out where stuff is. Is this the whole page? Okay, user manual. I'm missing scroll bars on this Chrome. Okay, there we go, there is. Table of contents. Fascinating. Particle systems. Particle system curve editor. I don't need anything that complicated. Gradient editor. Particle system inspector. Wow, look at that. See, most people use it for sparks and smoke, not to fake clouds in the sky. But I'm gonna use it to fake clouds in the sky because that's the kind of person I am. That's interesting. Particle effect. Flare particle. Wait, is this something that I don't have? Is it like a pro thing that I don't have access to? It possibly might be. Shuriken. Okay, legacy particle system. That's more familiar. Okay. Okay. I don't think I'm actually using the new one. Oh, actually, this seems a little different as well. Emission, velocity, and velocity. Okay, so that explains what everything does, but I'm not interested in that. I want to... Yeah, this looks familiar. Mesh particle emitter. Cool, look at that. Is that like a spider made out of particles? This isn't what I want, is it? Wow, look at that. Particle animator. Okay, so I'm thinking tile texture. Texture. Choosing a material. When setting up a particle renderer, it is important to use an appropriate material and shader that renders both sides of the material. Unless you're doing something in 2D. Most of the time you want to use a material with one of the built-in particle shaders. There are some pre-made materials and standard assets particle sources for that you can use. Both sides of it. Why is that important? So the assets create other material from the menu bar. The material has a shader pop up. Choose one of the shaders and particle groups. Particles multiply. Fascinating. Okay, let's try this out. Create material particle clouds shader particles additive alpha blended multiply. Can I just have it just the flat texture and not have it alpha blended? I don't even know what any of this stuff does. Oh, fascinating. That looks pretty flat. Texture select. Assets. Okay, I need to make an asset now. Now this part is something that I haven't done before. So we have the GNU image, GNU image manipulation system. This is GIMP. If you guys don't know what GIMP is, basically it's like Photoshop except it's free. www.gimp.org. The last time I tried it, it was also slightly unstable. But let's just try to draw a simple cloud here. I don't really need it that big. How big do I want it? Maybe I do want it that many pixels. Let's just make a 200 by 100 pixel. I think that's still pretty big actually. Pixels, no template, advanced options, fill with transparency. Resolution, I mean that doesn't really matter. Okay, so that's your image. View, zoom in, zoom 200. Let's go back to Unity. Textures. What? Reference menu. What file formats? Texture, cube map texture. That's not what I want. Rendered Asset components. It doesn't seem to have any like these are all advanced textures. There's no basic textures. Maybe it's too simple. They don't want to explain it to you. Okay, well, let's just do it. See how it goes. We have a airbrush tool with white background color, and if I just actually I want it to be bigger, don't I? Can I have a size? Well, let's finish what I started here. So something vaguely like a cloud. There we go, that's fairly cute. And then size bigger, oops, too big. Maybe I want a bit of gray in there as well. Let's see, a little bit of gray. Maybe like at the bottom, size back to 20. And so maybe like a bit of gray down the bottom. I mean, you can barely see it here. Maybe even a bit of gray at the top. Maybe a little bit more gray. Oops, that's kind of dark now, isn't it? Let's pretend the sun is on one side. That's a bit dark now. Okay, let's stop before we ruin it, like it was pretty good before. So, save as. How do I find out about... Where can I search the reference? Where do I find out what file formats to use? Oh, manual. Texture. What is this? How do I import alpha textures? Graphics questions, how do I use normal maps, detailed textures? Do I need an alpha texture? Texture 2D. Multi-layer Photoshop or TIFF files. I thought I saw some Photoshop files when I was loading up the new project. File types? The file types that you can import? Oh, look. RGB, RGBA. Or like, you know, DXT5. I'm not a serious game designer, so I'm just going to... Wow, look at that. So I'm just gonna keep it simple here. And save as... Oh, I don't want all this stuff. Where's my folders? Documents. Learning 02, interesting. Learning 02 assets. Can I just save it straight into here? Is this a good idea or not? This might be a bad idea. Okay, let's just come back out here and just save. Select file type. No, export. Select by file type. Okay, you don't actually save it, you have to export it. That's interesting, GIMP. Thank you for that. What's the file type that has transparency? Let's just go Photoshop image. simple cloud, export. Okay, hopefully that works. What do we have? Can we import assets, import new asset, documents, simple cloud.pst. Oh cool, look at that. RGBA, hopefully that's actually transparency and not white. Simple clouds, particle cloud, select. Wait, can I just... So there's all this stuff. There, that's what I had. Preview on a sphere. Well, it's cloudy, but I don't want it as a sphere. Particles. Can I just apply this to... That's not transparency, what are you doing? Maybe I'm not doing this right. Texture type. Alpha from grayscale, not alpha from grayscale. How do I get alpha? Oh, I don't need to... Simple particle clouds, alpha blend. It's diffused. Let's go diffuse. Well, that's not gonna give me transparency. Okay, that should give me transparency. Particle clouds, foreground. Why is it almost black? What is this? I don't even know what that is. Particles, alpha blended pre-multiply. I don't know what's going on here. Look, this is the original image. Texture type, texture. It's not any of those things, it's just a plain texture. Not alpha from grayscale. Wrap mode. Okay. Filter mode by linear, anastrophic level 1. Okay, that's all fine, I don't mind that. Select simple clouds asset. Yep, that's all fine as well. And it's transparent diffuse, but when I apply it to there, there's no light on it. I mean, I'd be quite happy except that it's black. Why is that? Why is that so dark? Where's the light? Main camera, directional light. No, the light should definitely be shining onto it. Directional color and texture. Oh wait, maybe this is wrong. Let's just build and run, see what happens. I really need to read up on the textures because I don't know what's going on here. Go, play. No, that's that. Why is that? Is it because it's not solid enough? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe like the gray is in fact the background. Because if we Yeah, maybe it's just not solid enough. Which is strange because isn't that almost solid? Anyway, let's just grab our brush again and get some white and just make it significantly more opaque. So that you can't see the background behind there anymore. And even, you know, make the edges more opaque as well. So export. Actually, let's just export back to the same file. And do we need to reload this? Refresh? Or like re-import? It looks pretty grey there still. I don't know if that's changed at all. Nope, that hasn't changed a thing. Or is that like the back of it, not the front of it? I don't understand. Maybe I should figure this out before I continue recording, because this might take me a while to figure out. Okay, so apparently it's just the particular type of texture we're dealing with. I mean, I don't even know why all of this seems to be so... Well, I don't know, whatever it is. Actually, let's just try all of them. Bump diffuse. Well, I don't actually have a bump map, so that doesn't really help. Decal doesn't help. Diffuse looks like that. I don't know, like it's not being lit very well. Look, the directional light is 0.5. Shadow type, no shadows. Color intensity, draw type, no shadow, render mode, color mask, everything, light mapping, auto, type directional. Like if we turn up the brightness, it doesn't even affect the texture. I don't know what's going on there. That's just a plain texture. Particle clouds, diffuse. So we don't want diffuse detail, that's not important. Parallax, we don't have parallax maps or anything like that. Vertical. Whoa. Graphical user interface, text shaders, mobile. Nature tree creators, that's interesting. Particles. Oh. Additive looks good. Kind of. Particles, additive, soft. Fascinating. Maybe it's because it's on a particle system, so the texture doesn't actually behave the way we expect. Particles, alpha blended. Particles, alpha blended, pre-multiply. So that's interesting. That's actually what we want. Particles, multiply. No, we don't want multiply, that's for sure. Projector, whoa. Reflective. I mean, we don't actually have anything to reflect. Self-illuminated, diffuse. See, that doesn't deal with the alpha, like the transparency very well. Toon shaders, that's interesting. Basic toon shader. Basic outline. Okay, we're not gonna do toon shaders. Transparent, diffuse. Like for some reason that, maybe it's because on a particle. But you would think transparent diffuse would work because it's a cloud with a transparency around it. But I guess we just have to choose that. Cool. Now, one last... those are very fast moving clouds, aren't they? We might have to change some of this stuff. Size. Wow. That's not... Size 10. 20. Interesting. Shape. No, that's the shape of the emitter. Can we change the shape of the particles? Color by speed, size over lifetime, size by speed, size by... Change control the size of over its lifetime. Curve. Size, can we just increase? No, we can decrease it. So they get bigger and bigger over time. That's funny. So, does this scale do what I think it does? No, it doesn't actually do anything. Alright, so size, max particles, no, that's not important. We want emission rate 1, emission rate 0.5, 0.7, oops, 0.7. That's interesting. Maybe that's not the right texture for it. Alpha blended. Particles, additive soft. That's better. Yeah, that's better. How do I change the shape? Like, it's been squashed. I made it 100 by 200, but it's been squashed into a square, which is not really what I want. And it's still too transparent, as you can see. Maybe, but that I can fix, like with the with just adjusting the texture. I think I just have to figure out more about it. Start size 5, 7, 5. Emissions rate 0.7, background emission rate 0.7, and size, let's see, foreground 10, 5, 6, 10, 6, 3. Interesting. There's like a clear gap between them though. Okay, I need it to be... the shape needs to be smaller. So it's kind of more constant. Make ground shape. There's like a blue line there, so I need to move this up a little bit. Let's see, 1.5, 2. Okay, 2 looks kind of good. Size. Okay, that looks about right. Let's save and build and run. See, I still don't know if the particle system is the best way to do this. There's a few more things I still want to test before I decide on this. I also don't know if this is the right texture type to use, but I can test out these things in my own time. just refining exactly what we're using. Oh, look, clouds. Oh, look. Let's just wait another 5 seconds or 10 seconds until the clouds in the distance get across the screen. Isn't this interesting? Isn't this fascinating? The blue, the sky's a little too blue. And it's a little too transparent, the stuff at the front. Maybe I need to move everything up a little bit as well. You see how there's a bit of blue at the top of the screen? That looks a bit strange. So I think the foreground should be bigger, denser, and a little bit further up. In fact, all of them could be a little bigger and a bit denser and a bit further up. Almost there, almost there. Foreground. So, bigger. Wow. Denser. I think that automatically makes them denser because they overlap more, so we don't have to worry about denser. So that's 50% bigger, which makes this 9, and it makes this 6. And the foreground, let's move that up. Up to 8. Midground, we can move this down to... No, let's keep that 4. No, let's keep that as 2. Is it too dense now? Can you not see the... No, that should be fine. That should be fine. In fact, maybe I want less variation even. It would be good if we can have, more than one cloud shape. I think that's what texture sheets are for. Save this, we don't want to lose that. Let me just quickly look up texture sheet. How do I search the menu? Procedural materials? That's fascinating. Materials and shaders. Basically, this is stuff I need to read because I don't really know how to do all this stuff. Texture. There's more than just that. Never mind, I'll look it up in my own time because this is probably complicated stuff that's going to take me a long time to figure out. So for now, save scene, build and run. How long have I been going on? Probably quite a long time. But this is probably going to be the last test. Maybe I should put this stuff up for download as well. No, I won't. If you want to see this, you have to make it for yourself. Do what I did. Or in fact, don't do what I did. Do something better. And then you can see it for yourself. Oh, look, clouds. Cool. Fascinating. Oh, I need to move the particle emitters further to the right because you can see new clouds coming in. That's interesting though. Despite everything being completely white, you can still kind of see 3 layers. You really can. That's interesting. Alright, so this is what we did today. Now you can imagine if those things are not clouds, they can be anything, right? They can be trees, they can be birds, they can be flowers on the ground, rocks, maybe even mountains in the distance, buildings, And you can just sort of have all these things scrolling across the screen, right? And then it seems like you're moving towards the right, just by having all this stuff scroll along the background. Interesting. Okay, so that's it for today. And next thing I want to try is to be able to control the speed of these. Maybe even move around a bit. Can we move up and down? And by moving up and down, not actually moving the camera, but just moving the particle emitters up and down, so that it looks like we're moving up and down. And then moving, like speeding up and slowing down, which just means that these particles have to increase in speed or decrease in speed, depending on us pressing a few buttons. So that will involve a bit of scripting, and we might actually find out that particle systems are not the best thing to use in that case, because I don't know how particles work here. If I increase the velocity of the particles, does it affect all the particles, or just the new particles being generated? Maybe you can control that even, but obviously there's a lot of things I need to learn. So things are homework for myself, so the next video might be a long time from now. Homework for myself would be to learn more about textures, and learn more about particle systems, because this, at the beginning of this video or set of videos, I deliberately came in without any knowledge about how Unity does these things, because I want to show you me looking up the help and trying to figure it out. So that's kind of interesting for, I guess, new people who are new to using this software. But yeah, so that's my homework. Look up textures and particles, and then we'll try scripting, so controlling the speed of these things next time, or unless I think of something else to do. Cool. Look at that, clouds and stuff.